You're watching WROC, Channel 8, 8 on your side.
This is News 8 at 5.
I can't think about it as, oh, it's this huge event, because I get a little nervous about it then, and my stomach starts jumping around.
I think he's here to challenge us. I think he's here to say, well, what are your plans, for the next millennium? How are you going to serve the people of God?
The Pontiff arrives in St. Louis to an excited crowd of hundreds of thousands of people.
The president is on hand to welcome him to the United States, along with Rochester's bishop. The Pope's visit to St. Louis tops our news at 5. Good evening and welcome. I'm Linda Allen. Thanks for joining us.
And I'm Marty Aaron. Jerry has the night off. Pope John Paul II arrives this afternoon thanking Americans for what he calls its countless acts of goodness.
Drew Levinson is in St. Louis and joins us now more with this important visit for everyone around the world.
The leader of the world's most powerful country today greeted the spiritual leader of the Roman Catholic Church. Pope John Paul II will be here in the United States for but 30 hours, but it will be a very busy trip. A roaring crowd and an official welcome in his native Polish tongue greeted Pope John Paul II as he arrived in St. Louis.
May you live 100 years and more.
At 78 years old, the pontiff refuses to stop traveling, stop preaching to the faithful, and stop challenging Christians worldwide.
For 20 years you have challenged us to think of life not in terms of what we acquire for ourselves, but in terms of what we give of ourselves.
The purpose of that important meeting was to prepare the church to enter the new millennium.
After their public meeting, the president and the pontiff then met privately to discuss world affairs, including relations with Cuba, the island nation the Pope visited this time last year. This morning in Mexico City, the Pope was given a warm send-off by tens of thousands who gathered to say goodbye. Some of the Mexican faithful burst into tears, waving white and yellow handkerchiefs and chanting, "Let him stay." As he made his way to the plane, the Pope said, "God bless you, Mexico, for the loyalty and love your sons give to the church." His exit capped off a 5-day Mexican visit. Here in St. Louis, Pope John Paul will find a city anxiously awaiting his arrival.
I think it brings the world together. A lot of us have watched him in Mexico, and we feel kind of bonded with our brothers and sisters in Mexico. And I think it brings the world together. It focuses us on faith.
During his opening remarks, the Pope never once mentioned the president's political troubles. Whether they discussed them during a 45-minute private session is not known. In St. Louis, I'm Drew Levinson reporting. Now back to you.
Okay, thanks. Now, among those greeting the pontiff is Rochester Bishop Matthew Clark.
The bishop left for St. Louis this morning. News 8 senior reporter Bob Kirk met with the bishop at the airport just before he left. Bob?
Now, Linda, the bishop is eagerly anticipating 2 major events on the Pope's schedule: a youth rally tonight and a mass before tens of thousands tomorrow morning. Now, before Bishop Clark left Rochester's airport this morning, he sat down with News 8 to talk about some of the issues Pope John Paul may raise during his visit in St. Louis.
In his homily at such celebrations, the Holy Father addresses issues that are relevant to the place he's visiting, and very often will raise hopes he has for our basic directions together and that sort of thing. So he'll speak more than kind greetings. He'll certainly speak those, but he'll also have a very substantial message for us.
Bishop Clark says the pontiff may briefly greet bishops from around the country, but does not expect any substantial discussions with the Pope. Folks?
Bob, there's been so much talk about the Pope's health, his age, and how he's doing. Of course, in Rochester, we've had our eye on the bishop. He had heart surgery in October. We've been following. How is he doing, by the way?
Very well. The angioplasty cleared blocked arteries, and now Bishop Clark looks extremely fit. Looks forward to all the celebrations in St. Louis in the next 24 hours.
He does look great. Thank you very much, Bob. We'll check in with you for more on the story tonight at 6 on News 8. Well, the president is in St. Louis. Senators in Washington are dealing with impeachment. With more on that part of the story, here's Lee Cohen.
Even before the president's private audience with the Pope, he discovered he may be given another formal invitation to appear before the Senate to answer the charges against him.
The appearance of witnesses.
A surprise move for a group of prosecutors that cannot compel the president to do anything. The White House response, dream on.
The president has no intention of testifying again.
At almost precisely the same time, another one of the prosecution's targets was on the move as well. Monica Lewinsky said goodbye to Washington in the hopes that she would never have to return. But her travel plans remain up to the Senate. She, along with White House aide Sidney Blumenthal and Clinton confidant Vernon Jordan, now make up the trio of witnesses that House managers would like to call. But it was a wish list put through a political shredder, cut by nearly 2/3 by the reality of a growing desire to end this trial sooner rather than later.
We have always believed, and we still do believe, that 10 or 12 witnesses are what we should have and should have been permitted to call to prove our case.
Even with the shortened list, House managers still had a lot of convincing to do. Chart after chart was used to show how live testimony could fill in the blanks and answer discrepancies. The White House lawyers responded in kind. More charts and quotes that showed the prosecution may be pushing its luck.
They're a little like a blackjack player who sees 20 on the table and has 19 and is going to try to draw that 2, hoping against the odds. Here, they're simply gambling.
But it could be another long night ahead as the battle lines over the issue of witnesses continue to harden on both sides. White House lawyers and even some Senate Democrats argue that bringing witnesses in is just going to extend this trial for weeks to come. House managers continue their argument that that is simply a bluff. Now, at this point, it is now up to a vote to decide if that bluff will be called. Lee Cowan, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
In other news tonight, Colombia is digging out from its worst earthquake in years. An estimated 1,000 people are dead. Hundreds were injured when the quake leveled the city of Armenia. The job is so overwhelming for rescue crews that bodies are still lying in the streets. 60% of the city was destroyed.
Here at home, floodwaters are receding in Chilai tonight in one neighborhood there. Residents who live on this section of Hillary Drive are starting to dry out after more than 2 feet of water flooded their basements. Chilai Fire Department pumped the water off the street, then helped the residents pump the water out of their homes.
It was real nice when me and the wife came down this morning to see the water gone from the street, and it's still here in the driveway, but they're taking care of that right now.
Firefighters say an ice jam at a nearby creek caused the flooding, and some say it's the worst flooding they've seen in 15 years.
Well, we have been on a winter weather roller coaster ride, and it's taking its toll on the roads. Road crews in Greece have patched dozens of potholes over the past few days. Residents have called in with 60 complaints just since yesterday. Tonight at 6, Ace on your side with ways to help out the road crews and to warn you about the high cost of sinking your wheels into one of these roadway eyesores.
Well, from pothole patrol to weather patrol.
Mary Beth Roble is in with us now to tell us what we can expect in the next couple of days. Not too bad today, Mary Beth, a little cloudy.
Yeah, cloudy and breezy. In fact, the wind chill's way down there into the single numbers this afternoon. And it does appear that we're going to see some more temperature swings over the next several days, giving rise to more potholes across the area. For now, though, we have been stuck underneath the clouds, stubborn to move out today, even though high pressure is in place, but the gray skies will continue. Maybe a couple of holes in the overcast, that's about it. There's another warm weather system that's on the way. This is the leading edge of the warm front that's going to be pushing in here during the day tomorrow, allowing temperatures to warm back into the upper 30s. But the clouds that we had today producing a couple of light flurries didn't really amount to a whole lot, but you can see a little bit showing up on radar. Not a whole lot, as I mentioned. We will stay dry throughout this evening. And temperatures are hovering very close to the freezing mark. We warmed up to 32 today. That was the high. We're at 30 now, but the wind's pretty gusty, keeping the wind chills down into the single digits. But eventually some of that milder air will get here. Tonight, if you're heading out, it will be cloudy and breezy, 29 degrees by 7 o'clock. Temperatures will be dropping into the upper 20s at 11 o'clock, right around 27 degrees. Don't look for much in the way of accumulation, not at all. And here's a sneak peek at our 5-day forecast, calling for temperatures to warm back into the upper 30s, close to 40 tomorrow. But it does look like some rain will be around, and that will continue into Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And some of this precipitation will likely change over to snow. But notice the temperature swings here. We'll see upper 30s and back into the 20s come Saturday. I'll have a full look at the 5-day forecast, tell you just how much snow we might see around here coming up a little bit later on. Marty, Linda?
Good morning, I'm Kate McLean, or good afternoon, I should say, with your Metro traffic. I'm Kate McLean. Coming out of downtown, especially 490 westbound outbound, very slow with stop and go. 490 westbound at Child, you've got a multi-car accident off on the right shoulder, backed up into downtown. 490 westbound near 390, an accident there as well, with backup to Ames. With your traffic, I'm Kate McLean.
Thank you, Kate. Yeah, absolutely. Now, seniors have help at their fingertips when it comes to picking out a medical plan. We'll tell you how that's done.
Also in health news tonight, some women taking estrogen replacement therapies for menopause are getting more than they bargained for.
And we need your help in finding a missing toddler. We'll tell you what needs to be done. News 8 at 5, right after this.
You're watching WROC News 8 at 5 with anchors Linda Allen and Jerry Fiore, Chief Meteorologist Mary Beth Roble, and sports with John Kutchko. 8 on your side.
Wednesday on 60 Minutes 2. These jurors thought they'd heard everything until the man on trial for murder threatened them with revenge if he didn't like their verdict. Plus, when Ed Bradley first met this little girl on 60 Minutes, she had been diagnosed profoundly deaf. Now you'll hear the rest of her story, and so will she. Then, a child with a rare disorder.
Rasmussen's encephalitis.
You want to take out half my kid's brain.
If we don't operate, Carly will die.
Chicago Hope, following 60 Minutes 2, CBS Wednesday.
News 8 is brought to you in part by Raymore and Flanagan. Quality furniture for less.
The one day you've been waiting for has come. Tomorrow. Wednesday is your day to own the quality furniture you want and pay less for it at Raymore and Flanagan. Enjoy store-wide savings on brand-name living rooms, bedrooms, dining rooms, recliners, and much more throughout the store. Plus, no deposit required, no interest to pay. Financing is free until 2001. Here's the one day not to miss. Tomorrow, from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. at Raymore and Flanagan.
Bigger is better with Binder and Binder because it means we're always with you, everywhere. We're the only national Social Security disability advocates. For your Social Security disability benefits, call 1-800-66-BINDER.
5 o'clock. You know what that means.
Time for scratchers from the New York Lottery. Lots of games, like the new Ticket to Ride, with 3 chances to win a new car or up to 20 grand.
I'm giving you a ticket.
Scratchers, saving New York from the ordinary day.
Thanks, Scratcher. Guy.
If you're disabled and you can't work, you really need your Social Security disability benefits. So call Binder and Binder for a free consultation, free newsletter, and a free booklet. 1-800-66-BINDER.
You're watching WROC News 8. 8 on your side.
Welcome back. In health news tonight, women who take estrogen could be getting even more benefits than they bargained for. According to a new study, estrogen supplements lower a woman's chance of heart attacks and strokes by reducing inflammatory and clotting factors in the blood. Previous studies have already showed that the hormone can also lower bad cholesterol. Now keep in mind, it's not a cure-all. Estrogen replacement therapy can be risky for some women since it can increase chances of certain types of cancer. Unborn babies may protect young mothers from getting breast cancer. The growing fetus produces a special protein in their liver, and that protein can leak into the mother's blood. Studies show that pregnant women who have high levels of this protein usually wind up with a lower risk of breast cancer.
And Ada is on your side tonight with a website that explains different health care plans. Medicare is offering the site free of charge. Internet users simply enter their zip codes to get a comparison of most plans in your area. Now, if you want to check out the website, the address is right there on the screen. It's www.medicare.gov. And just a note, some newer and very small plans aren't yet included, but you'll find the bigger ones, including all those in Rochester.
Yeah, free service. So if you can borrow a computer, if you don't have one, find out.
Head for the library, because they usually have them there.
Yeah, looks like it might be a good couple of days to do that. Kind of cloudy outside. We're going to check back in with Mary Beth Roble and find out more about the weather forecast coming up at 5.
And what would you do to find Mr. Right? Well, this couple left it up to a professional to figure out if they're meant for each other. We'll have the details when News 8 at 5 continues.
know that RG&E helps deliver priority mail? How? By supporting New York's economic development zones like this one in the city of Rochester. Businesses within these zones get wage and tax credits and energy discounts from RG&E. So companies like Emory Worldwide Airlines have money to reinvest, and that creates jobs. 300 and counting at Emory alone. And that's good for Emory, good for Rochester, and good for the people waiting for all this priority mail.
No school today, Mom. Head's all blocked up.
His last medicine left him so groggy. You know, medicine head. Now I give him Children's Sudafed.
Children's Sudafed relieves nasal and sinus congestion due to colds and allergies.
And I feel good knowing every Children's Sudafed is non-drowsy. To leave him with a clear head, not medicine head.
Back to normal.
Then back to school.
Children's Sudafed for a clear head, not medicine head.
It seems every day someone asks me the same burning question. Wonder Dude, Mom says Wonder Bread helps build strong bodies. How does it do that? Well, that's easy. Wonder combines the vitamins and calcium together with the iron. And somehow it always comes out soft. Delicious, too. Remember the Wonder. Tune in next time for Who Needs Wings to Fly?
Meteorologist Mary Beth Robles' Skywatch 8 weather has the seal of approval of the American Meteorological Society.
No problems with flooding, right?
No, flooding is all over and done with, and we still have about an inch of snow left on the ground.
Okay.
Some of that is going to melt tomorrow as temperatures go above freezing.
Has to go somewhere, but no flooding.
No flood warnings out or any watches either. Now, we have seen a couple of light flurries throughout the region this afternoon. There is dirty high pressure in place. Normally, high pressure gives us a beautiful sunny sky, but not today. We had a lot of low clouds hanging on and a couple of flakes coming in off of Lake Ontario, but that will go away later tonight. There is more precipitation on the way. It'll get here by tomorrow afternoon. For now, though, the winds are pretty gusty, and we have wind chills down into the single numbers. In fact, it feels like 4 here, 6 in the Falls, 20 at Penn Yan, and 23 degrees at Elmira. So, not too good if you don't like the wind. Well, 30 degrees at the airport. Again, the wind chill 4, humidity 75%, winds out of the west-southwest 21, gusts all the way to 31 miles per hour, and the barometer now rising from a pretty high reading, 30.36 inches. Well, there is a pretty big storm system, but it's still way away from here. You can see it here. The same system that gave snow to Southern California, places that haven't seen snow in about 25 years. But this storm now pulling into the plains. This is the cold front here, and the warm front, which is going to push in here during the day tomorrow. With it, we'll get some overrunning moisture, not expecting a whole lot of rain, but some light scattered rain, especially late tomorrow afternoon going into tomorrow evening. And the onset of the precipitation could begin, well, as freezing rain, just a couple of pockets. It will quickly change over to all rain. And it'll warm us up into the upper 30s, close to 40, and then behind it, some cooler air that will arrive for the weekend. Well, tonight down to 25 for the low. Generally cloudy, breezy, chilly. Winds out of the southwest 10 to 15, slackening off, but the wind chills anywhere from 0 to 15 above. Tomorrow, gray and milder, light rain developing during the afternoon. 39 the top temperature, winds out of the west 10 to 15 miles per hour. And the 5-day forecast says, well, we'll be back into the mid-30s come Thursday with a chance of some wet snow. Really no accumulations expected, and also some scattered light snow developing for Friday on into Saturday as temperatures slip back down into the upper 20s for the start of the weekend. Not looking for any accumulation, maybe a dusting, a coating, perhaps an inch at best. And Sunday will dry out, partly sunny skies, highs near the freezing mark. Well, today I visited the seniors group in Pittsford at First Presbyterian Church in the village. A wonderful group of people. We had lunch. Well, I visited after lunch, after dessert.
I was going to say, what'd you have for lunch?
I skipped the lunch today.
Okay.
Got up too late. But we talked a little bit about weather in your house, and actually I sang for them. I told them about my studies at Eastman School of Music, and they asked me if I would sing a song, so I did a piece in Italian for them.
Did you really?
Yeah, Mozart piece.
Is it the one you performed
in the bathroom?
Yeah.
We hear singing all the
Linda
time.
hears me all the time.
Wow. She has a beautiful voice.
Well, thank you.
Thank you very much,
have
Mary
fun.
Beth. That is fun.
Good.
Fun for them.
Lunch and a song.
Yeah. A surprise visit to Rochester from boxing great Muhammad Ali. That was fun. News 8 was there to see it all. we missed it. But John Kochko was there. In fact, he was being honored. He'll have the details coming up.
Coming up, and we'll also help you find a missing child. We need your help.
A 1-year-old boy is missing, and police are trying to track down his own parents. The Missing Children's Report is next.
Whirlwind wedding. They met, got married, did it in the same day. Wait till you hear all about it. News 8 at 5, back after this.
Somewhere there's a job where you can take time off for a cold. But until you find that job, there's Hall's Mentholyptus to soothe your throat and calm your cough. Hall's, we're going to work.
Dentine Ice cools your breath twice. First, the cold minty shell chills you down. Then, the Sub-Zero flavor puts your breath on ice for a long, long time. Dentine Ice cools your breath twice.
Channel 8 and Knorr Products want to put Rochester's best pasta dishes on TV. So dig out Mama's favorite pasta recipe and send it to Taste of the Best, 201 Humboldt Street, Rochester, New York, 14610. 6 lucky winners will be on News 8 at noon with their favorite, soon-to-be famous pasta entrees using Knorr products. Winners also receive gift baskets of best foods and Knorr products. So, don't let this much fun pasta you by.
What's the difference between watching a good football game and a great one? Great food. From Wegmans.
Get ready for the Super Bowl and save at Wegmans. Buy one 16-ounce Crowley sour cream, get another one free. Buy one margarita sliced pepperoni, get another one free. All with your Shoppers Club card. Plus, enter Wegmans Super Bowl sweepstakes. You could win a Ford Expedition and much more.
Take it from Doug Flutie. The best Super Bowl parties start at Wegmans.
Kids, what do you feel like having?
I want pizza. I want chicken. I don't. Wait, I want ribs. I want macaroni and cheese. Oh, come on. I want spaghetti, chicken, ribs. Don't.
How about here?
I want...
Old Country Buffet. With over 100 of everyone's favorite items to choose from, it's the one restaurant you'll always agree on.
I want. I got chicken. Look at this food. I want. No, I want.
Old Country Buffet. What's on your plate?
You're watching WROC News 8. 8 on your side.
A 1-year-old boy is missing, and police now need your help in finding him.
8's on your side with a way for you to help. As Stacy Sims reports tonight, he may not be safe even with his own parents.
We need your help to find a baby who's in danger. His name is Travis Crouch, and the people who police say have put him at terrible risk are his own parents, Linda and Roger Crouch. The police have issued felony warrants for the pair. Travis is in need of constant medical attention. He has a congenital brain deformity. He's also malnourished and has scars on his head. Travis and his parents may be in a blue 1995 Ford sedan with Virginia license plates. They were last seen in Bedford, Virginia on December 10th, 1998. If you've seen Travis Crouch or know anything about where he may be, please call the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children at 1-800-THE-LOST. That number again, 1-800-THE-LOST. I'm Stacy Sims with the Missing Children's Report, making our children safe, one child at a time.
All right, we appreciate your help there. Imagine meeting a total stranger and then marrying the person on the same day.
That's the idea behind a British radio station's publicity stunt. The station selected a model and a salesman out of hundreds of applicants. They looked at personality traits and even interviewed family members. They then paired the two and joined them in wedded bliss. Many church leaders are criticizing what they're calling a stunt. The couple doesn't seem to mind. In fact, they're honeymooning in the Caribbean.
All right. Well, boxing's greatest is a showstopper last night and an award ceremony right here in Rochester.
John Kochko had the best seat in the house. He joins us next with all the highlights.
Somewhere there's a job where you can take time off for a cold. But until you find that job, there's Hall's Mentholyptus to soothe your throat and calm your cough. Hall's, we're going to work.
Coolness, lasting freshness. Cert's Cool Mint Drops. Coolness outside, inside, a drop of Retsin for fresh, cool breath that really lasts. Cert's Cool Mint Drops, so you can keep your cool longer. Available in cinnamon, too. We're talking Chevrolet.
I feel very secure driving my Chevrolet Blazer. It has a great front suspension that when you're driving, you feel like you're in control.
Now, lease a new Chevy Blazer 4x4 for just $299 a month. Or lease a new Chevy S10 pickup for just $189 a month with no security deposit and only your first month payment due at lease signing. See your local Chevrolet dealer today.
My S10's a really solid truck. I'm proud to drive a Chevy.
The word around here today, we're talking Chevrolet.
Different days, different deals. At McDonald's, on Sundays, our delicious cheeseburgers are 39 cents each. While on Wednesdays, you'll find our classic hamburgers for 29 cents each. Now, for those of you who've got to see it to believe it, Sundays are 39-cent cheeseburger days. Wednesdays are 29-cent hamburger days. 2 different days, 2 different incredible deals. Right now for a limited time, only at McDonald's. Did somebody say McDonald's?
It's the year's largest indoor RV show and sale, January 22nd through the 31st at the mall at Grease Ridge Center, sponsored by the Rochester RV Dealer Network. See over 100 of the best RVs in one indoor location, from tent campers to Class A's, special manufacturers incentives, and low bank financing. Sponsored by Ballantyne, Bethany, Family RV, Finger Lakes RV, and Four Seasons. Buy from the Rochester RV Dealer Network for the best in sales, service, and savings. January 22nd through the 31st at the mall at Grease Ridge Center.
The Adirondack Mountains of New York State. Hamilton County, New York. 750 miles of groomed trails interconnecting the villages of the Central Adirondacks. Only 1 hour from the New York State Thruway and the Adirondack Northway. Call now, 1-800-648-5239 for your free Adirondack Fun Pack, including snowmobile and cross-country ski trail maps. Winter brings out the best in the Adirondack Mountains of New York State.
You're watching WROC News 8. 8 on your side.
Marty and I missed it by 5 minutes. It's your fault.
Well, and I missed that, and we missed John actually getting the award. We showed up last night, and we're very proud of you.
Well, I appreciate it, and I appreciate you guys showing up. This was a night to remember based on really one individual who just shocked everybody. It was awesome. He was the ultimate showstopper, Muhammad Ali, appearing out of nowhere at last night's Day of Champions sports dinner. Over 1,000 at the convention center were stunned when Ali appeared in honor of his friend and biographer Howard Bingham. And we even went back in time and showed an old Channel 8 film clip from when Ali was here back in 1967.
Frazier still rising, and the referee wears a frown, for he can't start counting till Frazier comes down. Now Frazier disappears from view. The crowd is getting frantic, but our radar stations have picked him up. He's somewhere over the Atlantic. Who would have thought when they came to the fight that they would witness the launching of a colored satellite?
That was vintage Muhammad Ali, and we showed that clip yesterday at the dinner, and it was just great to see him. You know, I'd never seen him in person, and that's something I'll always remember. Good stuff.
What a legend. And congratulations to you on your award. It's really something. You've worked a long time in this market, and it's nice to see you.
I appreciate it. I love my sports, as you know, and we'll keep on working. So we'll see you at 6. Thanks for coming.
Hardest working sports guy in town.
My wife doesn't like that, but...
You are indeed. Thanks, John. And that does it for us. News 8 at 5.
We'll see you back here tonight at 6.
Good night.
Good evening, I'm Linda Allen.
I'm Marty Aarons. Just ahead on News 8 at 6, Rochester Bishop Matthew Clark heads to St. Louis. He's meeting with the Pope. We'll have complete coverage.
Also at 6, 8 on your side with a pothole warning. If you've seen one, you can help get it fixed. Get out a pencil and paper.
News 8, up next.
From Hallmark Hall of Fame.
There's maybe no heartache greater than outliving your own child.
When a devastating loss shatters a family.
You've got to fight to keep your family together.
I am fighting.
They will try to survive the only way they can. Together.
Home isn't home without you.
Rebecca De Mornay.
I need you.
Keith Carradine.
Maybe what we need to do is make a new start.
And Ellen Burstyn in Hallmark Hall of Fame's Night Ride Home. Premieres CBS February 7th.
You're watching WROC Channel 8. 8 on your side.
This is News 8 at 6.
A huge welcome today in St. Louis for the leader of the Roman Catholic Church.
Rochester's own Bishop Matthew Clark is on hand to take part in this historical event. Good evening and welcome. I'm Linda Allen.
And I'm Marty Ernst. Thanks for joining us tonight. President Clinton welcomes Pope John Paul II to St. Louis, telling him, "May you live more than 100 years."
President Clinton told the large crowd the Pope has lifted people's spirits and touched their hearts for more than 20 years. One of Rochester's own is on hand to witness the Pope's message to all Americans. News 8 senior reporter Bob Kirk talked with Rochester Bishop Matthew Clark just before he left for St. Louis this morning.
Your Holiness, every American welcomes you and hopes that you will come to see us again.
Welcoming words from an American president whose moral leadership remains under fire to one of the world's most powerful moral forces, Pope John Paul II.
I think it brings the world together. A lot of us have watched him in Mexico, and we feel kind of bonded with our brothers and sisters in Mexico.
As the pontiff left Mexico for the U.S. this morning, Bishop Matthew Clark departed Rochester for the Pope's visit to St. Louis. He says John Paul's visits to America always bring something special.
But they have a wonderful way of getting people thinking, talking about things that matter, whatever their faith may be. And I hope that this visit to our country will be not just a pleasure for Roman Catholics, but will stimulate and interest people of all persuasions in our region.
The president seemed to echo that opinion, citing church projects that benefit all Americans.
Catholic charities are helping families conquer violence and drug abuse, helping people in need to find work and to finance their first homes, helping refugees from war-torn lands to build new lives.
In St. Louis tonight, John Paul will attend a youth rally. So will Bishop Clark.
I take a special pleasure in being with the young people of our church and also being there when the Holy Father's with them, because there's a wonderful manner of interacting with them. And also the Eucharistic liturgy, which will draw together most of the bishops of our country. That's always a pleasure to be with them.
Speaking this afternoon, John Paul thanked the U.S. for what he called its countless acts of goodness. His thanks will no doubt be returned by hundreds of thousands in his remaining 24 hours in America. Bob Kirk, News 8, Rochester.
Now tonight, Bishop Clark will be on hand, as Bob said, when the Pope speaks to a 21,000-member youth rally. That's at 7 o'clock. Tomorrow, the Pope delivers Mass at the TWA Dome, downtown St. Louis, beginning at 10:30 a.m. At 5:30 p.m., another prayer service, and at 8:30 p.m., the Pope leaves St. Louis for the Vatican in Rome.
Reports out of Colombia say as many as 2,000 people have died following a killer earthquake. The earthquake registered 6 on the Richter scale and has devastated the country's coffee-growing region. More than 500 people are confirmed dead, but some estimates say thousands have died. The area's devastation is so vast, many bodies are still lying in the streets. The Colombia earthquake struck just 2 hours before a microquake rattled homes and nerves less than an hour away from Rochester. It happened in Leicester, New York. The quake hit there. Microquakes like this one can be felt a long distance from the quake's epicenter. But seismologists don't believe this quake had anything to do with the one in Colombia.
If there were a local earthquake, you'd feel these as a push or a swaying motion. And then there are a whole series of events and waves that come in later on, which are these waves that are mainly moving along the surface. People who are very far from the earthquake can't feel these at all.
Some seismologists are registering Leicester's quake at 2.7 on the Richter scale.
Well, here at home, the question, how bad is the flood damage? And that is what some Chili residents are finding out now as the flood waters continue to drop. Residents on Hillary Drive continued cleaning up today. Fire department went door to door pumping out water from the homes, and neighbors helped neighbors save damaged items. One flood victim says he's moved to see so many people helping out in this time of need.
Actually, you feel a lot better today to see the water gone. I think that's a big relief. And everybody's in here to take care of us, so it does make you feel a lot better.
Firefighters say an ice jam at a nearby creek caused the flooding. Some neighbors say it's the worst flooding they've seen in 15 years.
In Parenton, efforts to keep the town of Victor from developing land near the Eastview Mall has died. A Supreme Court judge threw out a lawsuit challenging Victor's decision to rezone the area for commercial use. The town of Parenton argued the development posed an environmental threat and would tie up traffic around Route 96. However, the court said one town doesn't have the right to impose its will on another.
Another Woodstock could be in the works 30 years after the original, and promoters of the anniversary concert are considering holding that show at a former military base. The promoters of the 30th anniversary concert say they're looking at the former Griffiths Air Force Base in Rome. That's right near Syracuse. They're looking to hold the event in late July. A new statewide poll shows Hillary Rodham Clinton in the lead in the race for the U.S. Senate seat in New York. The poll from the Marist College's Institute for Public Opinion has the First Lady leading Republicans Rudolph Giuliani and Alphonse D'Amato in theoretical matchups for next year's Senate race. Mrs. Clinton, though, has decided not to comment on the latest poll. Local, state, and federal police are teaming up now to bring down juvenile crime.
The mayor's office released the new plans today. The idea is to prevent at-risk youths from becoming violent offenders.
Amit Chitre joins us from the newsroom with the details. Amit?
Well, Marty, Linda, the city has had recent success in fighting crime. Numbers on murders, robberies, and overall crime are down, but now police want to focus on a specific group, young people between the ages of 13 and 21. Mayor William Johnson unveiled the Youth Anti-Violence Initiatives today. It's basically a push from police and the courts on a local, state, and federal level. The plan includes several different programs for crime prevention, teen counseling, and prosecution, but organizers say the message is the same.
Go somewhere else and commit your crimes, but it's going to be a tough place to do crime in Rochester, New York.
I don't think there's any other place in this country that is as unfriendly to people who want to commit violence as Rochester.
Here is the measuring stick the city will use to check its progress. Police will keep an eye on 4 different categories: homicides, robberies, serious assaults, and criminal possession of a weapon. Although police already have reported a drop in some of these categories, they say they can bring the crime down even more. Mayor Johnson says he wants to check those 4 categories at the end of this year, and that will basically be the report card of whether these initiatives pass or fail.
It sounds like a pretty comprehensive plan, a lot of work involved. Is this something that's been modeled after a program that's being implemented in other parts of the country?
Actually, it's quite the opposite. In the press conference today, Mayor Johnson says other cities have contacted him to ask about the program. It's very unusual for so many different agencies on a local, state, and federal level to work together to solve a problem like juvenile crime, so we could be setting a trend right here in Rochester.
Very interesting. Go do it elsewhere. Interesting approach by the mayor. Thanks very much, Amit. Amit Chitre in our newsroom.
Well, it looks like your rental umbrella business could be back in business and up and running.
Yeah, I have to give away the snow shovel business. Chief Meteorologist Mary Beth Roble standing by with the very latest.
Marty and Linda, there is more rain on the works. It's going to get here not until tomorrow. For today, hard-pressed to see much sunshine out there, and the clouds continue to roll in. They'll be with us for the next several days. Here's a recap of our day today. 32 the high, 25 the low, and we have seen a trace of snowfall, just a couple of light flurries out there. Here's the sneak preview of our 5-day forecast, calling for highs tomorrow near 40 degrees. Temperatures dropping down into the 20s. Good chance of more snow on the way. I'll tell you how much coming up in my full forecast. Marty?
All righty. Thank you very much.
Well, if you've ever dreamed of making it through the shopping aisles in lightning fast time, wait till you hear this story coming up.
Also ahead on News 8, if you've seen a pothole, 8's on your side with who you ought to call. Get a pencil and paper ready. We have important numbers for you. It's next, right here on News 8 at 6.
You are watching WROC News 8 at 6 with anchors Linda Allen and Marty Ahrens, Chief Meteorologist Mary Beth Roble, and sports with John Kutchko. 8 on your side.
Tonight,
I hereby order you to serve 2 life sentences back to back.
a corrupt system made him a prisoner.
I believe in discipline and the Bible. Here you'll receive both.
But his will to be free.
There's something they can't touch. Hope.
Hope is a dangerous thing. Could not be broken.
Man missing on 5. You better be sick or dead in there.
Oh my holy God.
I want him found.
Nominated for 7 Academy Awards, The Shawshank Redemption. CBS tonight.
Well, if I had money to tell you what to do, I'd go downtown, buy a Ford truck or 2. I'm crazy about a Ford truck.
Now you can get a Ford truck or 2 with financing you'll be crazy about. The 99 Ford Ranger now comes with low 0.9 financing or 1,000 cash back. Ranger's the only compact pickup you can get with 4 doors. Or get low 4.9 financing on Ford F-150, America's best-selling truck.
I'm gonna buy me a Ford truck and cruise it up and down the road.
See your local Ford dealer today.
Let me tell you about this supernatural sense of smell I have. It's telling me I can get 5 roast beef sandwiches for only $5.55. Dig that slow roasted aroma. That's horse's sauce. No, wait, that's Arby's sauce. Any way you dress them up, you get 5 sweet smelling sandwiches for only $5.55. And I understand they look pretty good, too.
You can go anywhere and get filled up, but you can only get the 5 for $5.55 deal at Arby's.
The McLeod GM factory buyback is like getting a new vehicle and a factory warranty at thousands below replacement cost. And McLeod Chevy is now loaded with them. Chevy Malibus, Prisms, Luminas, Old Achievas, and Buick Regals with prices so low, and that includes a full factory warranty. Wow, this is big. McLeod is not out to be undersold by any GM dealer. East of Fairport on Route 31, just a hop, skip, and a jump past Lollipop Farm.
Meteorologist Mary Beth Robles' Skywatch 8 weather has the seal of approval of the American Meteorological Society.
Marty's trying to figure out how to make money on this rental business with his umbrella.
Yeah, I got to.
Mary Beth for all the details.
Got to go to the basement, get all the umbrellas, put them back in the trunk.
Bummer for you. We're not going to get that much rain over the next couple of days. It's
All
just going to be light spotty by tomorrow afternoon.
Remember this: you don't have to shovel rain.
That's right.
Yeah.
You can sweep it, though. How about a broom
All right.
business?
Well, we'll
That's
think
not a
about
bad
it.
idea.
I'll get back to you.
All right, lots of clouds all day today, and there's a warm front that's going to head in during the day tomorrow. And ahead of it, we are seeing some more clouds pushing in. We may actually see a break in the overcast late tonight. You can see the pocket of dry air down here, but it's not going to be long lasting. There is another storm system that's going to be in here by tomorrow afternoon. Again, it'll give us a shot at some light spotty precipitation in the form of rain, perhaps some wet snow. Currently on radar, not a whole lot going on. We did see some light flurries throughout the day today. That's about it. Amounted to a trace of precipitation at the airport. Right now we're sitting at 30 degrees with a cloudy sky. The wind chill down to 4. We have some very gusty winds tonight. Winds out of the west-southwest, 21 gusts up to 31, and the barometer still rising from 30.36. Sky watchers say the temperature's hovering right around that freezing mark. We have 29 degrees in Greece. It's 28 degrees for Diane Yale in Chile, 28 in Caledonia, 32 degrees for Bill O'Boyle in Geneva, 32 as well for Cohocton, and 30 degrees in Ontario. Well, satellite picture shows our storm system, which will be arriving tomorrow afternoon. Again, here in the upper Midwest. It's pulling out, and it's pushing into the central Great Lakes. Incidentally, beautiful day in St. Louis for the Pope today. Plenty of sunshine, windy though. Temperatures in the 50s there. This is a cold front which will get here by the weekend. But for now though, we're dealing with this warm front. That will sweep to the north tomorrow. We'll get the overrunning rains tomorrow afternoon, very light. We may actually see some pockets of wet snow or maybe even perhaps some freezing drizzle. That's about it, but it'll change over to plain rain. And again, by the weekend, colder air pushes in, but until then, we'll stay pretty mild. Tonight, down to 25, generally cloudy, breezy, chilly. Winds out of the southwest 10 to 15 miles an hour, keeping the wind chills anywhere from 0 to 15 above. Tomorrow, gray, milder, light rain developing in the afternoon, 39 for the high. Winds out of the west 10 to 15. 5-day forecast says we'll be knocking it down into the 30s come Thursday with wet snow likely. 35 for the high. Scattered wet snow showers continue on Friday, 34 for the high, and 28. The colder air pushes in by the start of the weekend. Again, scattered light snow showers. We're not looking for major snow accumulations, perhaps an inch at best as we head into the weekend, and a nice dry Sunday.
All right. Well, you know what this roller coaster weather's doing?
Potholes.
Potholes. You're absolutely right. They seem to be everywhere, and they're growing.
Lots of them.
Yeah.
Every time you turn around, another one's popping up. They're more than just a rut in the road. They're dangerous, and they can even cost you thousands of dollars. Tonight, 8's on your side with what you can do to help get them fixed in your neighborhood.
News 8 is brought to you in part by Ted Cohen's Office Furniture.
Hi, I'm Ted Cohen, and welcome to Ted Cohen's Office Furniture. We are Rochester's only authorized Lazy Boy Business Furniture Gallery. Visit our modern showroom. It's the largest in Western New York. Our trained professional staff will be delighted to assist you with your office furniture design. We've got 55,000 square feet of new and used office furniture ready for immediate delivery. Stop in for all your office furniture needs. I'm sure you'll be pleasantly surprised.
It's truck season, and Mallier knows trucks. Yes, Malier's ready with all kinds of trucks. So many trucks that Mallier is selling for the lowest price and APR ever.
That's because our dad always says yes.
So come on out to Mallier Chevy Olds and Mallier's Truck Country in Honeoye Falls. It's not as far as you think.
Awesome, Dad.
Customer satisfaction and standard equipment at Mallier Chevrolet Olds.
That's my dad.
What's the difference between watching a good football game and a great one? Great food from Wegmans.
Get ready for the Super Bowl and save at Wegmans. Buy one 16-ounce Crowley sour cream, get another one free. Buy one margarita sliced pepperoni, get another one free. All with your Shoppers Club card. Plus, enter Wegmans Super Bowl sweepstakes. You could win a Ford Expedition and much more.
Take it from Doug Flutie. The best Super Bowl parties start at Wegmans.
CBS presents the remarkable journey of one woman with 3 mothers. One gave her up.
Her name's Barbara F.
One fought to keep her.
Not like this. Let's go.
Another struggled to understand her. Inspired by actual events.
I love everything you are.
A story of family, forgiveness, and finding where you belong.
I think you're my mother. You found me.
Lynn Whitfield, Anne Bancroft, and ER's Gloria Rubin. Deep in My Heart. CBS February 14th.
You're watching WROC News 8. 8 on your side.
Welcome back. We need one of those lunar rovers, is that what they call them, to get around? I don't know about you, but lots of us feel like we're driving on the moon lately.
Kind of bumpy, and as we mentioned with Mary Beth, our roller coaster temperatures have popped up the potholes a lot earlier than usual. Tonight, in this 8 on your side report, Steve Levine tells you how you can smooth it all out.
Not too good. You have to try to avoid them.
If you live in Rochester, this is what Rochester's about.
And it's Rochester's topsy-turvy weather that's returned these pavement pains to our streets weeks earlier than most years. Since yesterday, Grease road crews have patched up more than 70 potholes. That's 3 tons of sticky filling.
With the moisture in the pavement freezing and then thawing has been causing the pothole work. So it's above average year for some potholes, unfortunately.
It's quick and inexpensive to patch the road compared to the fix-up job to your car. Looking at the front suspension, repairs for a bent control arm can cost up to $200. Bent struts or shock absorbers can cost another $200. A damaged wheel or tire can leave you with a $500 bill.
On this here one, it's down to about a ½ inch. This is actually rubbing right into the wheel housing as you're turning. The other side's got about 1.5 inches to 2 inches clearance in that area.
Fortunately for you, pothole damage shouldn't take a dent out of your pocketbook. Most insurance carriers cover it under collision. Even though you're the one who drove into the pothole, it's considered to be the fault of the man upstairs. New York State and most towns in our area have pothole hotlines where you can phone in a problem, and they promise to get it done within 24 hours, weather permitting. And on your side called in this pothole we found on Monroe Avenue in Rochester. Check in tomorrow, and we'll tell you if it's been repaired. Steve Levine, 8 on your side.
Well, if they're watching tonight, it'll be repaired, I guarantee that. Now, here are the numbers you can call to report a pothole. For New York State, it's 1-800-POTHOLE. For the city of Rochester, it's 428-5990. In Greece, it's 225-4590. Remember, if the weather's good, the crews do promise to get the pothole fixed within 24 hours.
Well, it looks like good news for Frontier and its employees. The company's fourth-quarter earnings show Frontier may become a communications leader for the next generation. Earnings per share increased 50% to 27 cents. Meanwhile, net income is up 54% to $47.1 million.
Their stock didn't have a great day, though. Let's check out how Wall Street closed today. At 4 o'clock our time, the Dow was up today, 121 points. Trading was very heavy. Local stocks of interest. Bausch & Lomb was up 11/16. Kodak was up 15/16. There's Frontier down 2 5/16 despite the report. General Motors was up 1 1/2. IBM up 4 1/2. Rural Metro unchanged. And look at this. We told you about Xerox earnings last night on News 8 at 11. Look what happened to their stock today. Up 10 9/16. A great day for them.
You love hockey. I know your kids love hockey. Well, wait till you see this house in our area. One guy is a real big hockey fan.
Yeah, and Venus Williams' hair is making headlines again. John Kutchko will tell us why right after this brief timeout.
calcium, lime, rust, minerals that build up and leave hard water stains. CLR Clean Stain Coffee decanters crystal clear. Bitter-tasting coffee will disappear when you clean your coffee maker with CLR. CLR makes clogged shower heads spray like new. It works instantly on tub, basin, and toilet rust stains. Watch how fast and easy it removes rust stains from cement and stucco. Get money-back guaranteed CLR at your favorite store.
CLR is available at these fine stores.
In the game of life, there are spectators and there are players. Which side are you on? Now that it's a new year, let Michael Jordan and Bally Total Fitness help you decide. Get a preview edition of Jordan's powerful new book, For the Love of the Game, when you join Bally for no money to start. Plus, it's your last chance to get 98 rates. Call 800-FITNESS, because game time is now.
RG&E and fire departments respond to gas odor calls day and night. Most turn out to be minor. But if you smell gas, get out of the house immediately. Go next door and call RG&E at 546-1100.
Meet the crew when it gets there and tell them what the problem is. If you can't remember our number, just dial 911, but be sure to remember this. If you smell gas, get up and get out.
CBS presents the untold story of the scandalous life and mysterious death of the richest woman in the world. Men were her weakness.
Stay in London, Doris. Stay with me.
Money was her curse.
You married me to bail out your family? Go to hell.
Tragedy was her destiny.
He's killing me.
No one is trying to kill you.
This has got to stop.
Lauren Bacall and Richard Chamberlain star in a world premiere event. Too Rich, The Secret Life of Doris Duke. CBS Sunday, February 21st.
You're watching WROC News 8. 8 on your side.
Can you say Super Bowl circus?
Yeah, what a crazy week.
I liked this day back when I covered the Bills Super Bowls because it was the craziest but most enjoyable. They really don't get a chance to focus on the game because all the distractions. It's America's greatest feeding frenzy. Media day at the Super Bowl. Both teams hearing about every question imaginable. The only chance for players to actually see the stadium before Sunday. The Falcons short on experience, big though on dancing, and big on confidence. Just ask former Bill Cornelius Bennett.
My experience and my pass coverage skills, I think match up well against Denver and Shannon. You know, he'll probably say otherwise, but.
Well, both teams had light workouts today. The Broncos training at the Miami Dolphins headquarters. We'll have more on Super Bowl 33 tonight. In boxing terms, what happened last night was a knockout punch. The man some claim is the most recognizable human on planet Earth appeared out of nowhere at the Day of Champions dinner. Muhammad Ali stunned the 1,000 plus at the convention center. On hand as his good friend photographer Howard Bingham was honored.
He was nothing. He followed me around taking pictures, Bill Crosby and whoever, and now you're a star.
It was great. Ali was notified late last week that Yanks pitcher David Wells had canceled. Said Ali, when do you want me there? Australian Open tennis women's quarterfinals, and Venus Williams has problems against Lindsay Davenport. The ref starts penalizing her points because beads are falling out of her hair every time she struck a ball. She couldn't believe it. This has never happened to her before. She said there's no distraction. Williams was livid. Her game was too. She lost to Davenport, the top seed, 6-4, 6-love. And he's the king of collectors, at least around here, a local guy who can't get enough of anything that's related to hockey. Dave Yates takes us on a tour.
I have in excess of probably 160 game-used jerseys.
From Warsaw to Windsor, from Prague to Peterborough, Jim Reinhardt's collection virtually covers the hockey globe. But even with all of that, he still tries to keep a local flavor.
Bronco Horvath's jersey from the Calder Cup year, 64-65. That's basically what got me started, was getting a hold of that.
So when Jim gets tired looking through all his jerseys and the rest of his collectibles, he's got a choice of some of the best seats in the house. He's got stadium seats from 5 of the 6 original NHL stadiums, like this one from the Forum or this one from Detroit's old Olympia.
Just to think, be able to sit there and say, you know, I'm sitting in a seat that was in the Montreal Forum, and they won 23 Stanley Cups. How many of those were at home?
One pair of seats even gave him a little something extra for his collection.
When I got the seats from Boston Gardens, They arrived UPS, and when I dumped them out of the box, all these peanuts came out. So I got a bunch and threw them in a jar to save them.
So how do you rack up a collection of this magnitude? Well, it takes a lot of hustle, a lot of luck, and sometimes you've got to get your hands dirty.
I had to go in the dumpster to pull those out.
There is one jersey that Jim holds above the rest. This Blackhawks sweater from 1979, worn by Bobby Orr in his final season.
That's 1 in a million. I happen to be in the right place at the right time for that.
Sticks, hats, banners, even dirt from where the old Chicago Stadium once stood. Jim's got a little of everything, maybe a little too much. He's talking about expanding to his attic. In Rochester, Dave Yates, News 8 Sports.
Well, Jim will be happy because the NHL resumes the second part of their season tonight. Sabres home to Phoenix. We'll have highlights of that at 11.
What a collection.
It's good. I thought I had a lot of stuff around my place, but that's unreal.
I have some candy bars in there I'm selling for $1 a piece for a hockey fundraiser. You think
he's watching?
Be
Give
interested?
us a call.
All right. Just a thought.
Sell them for a Super Bowl party.
That wouldn't be a bad idea. You'll take 10. Are you making plans for that big Super Bowl party?
You'll need Marty's candy, and you'll need lots of other kinds of food. You can bet this teenager is getting ready to throw a big party. Take a look at her go. Her story when we come back.
February, the coldest, bleakest month of the year, but not on CBS. We've got red-hot comedies, specials, and movies all month long. The 41st Annual Grammy Awards, all the excitement of Miss USA, an original Hallmark Hall of Fame presentation, the miniseries event Too Rich, The Secret Life of Doris Duke, and Shania Twain in her first network special ever. February is red hot. Wow! On CBS.
Channel 8 and Knorr Products want to put Rochester's best pasta dishes on TV. So dig out Mama's favorite pasta recipe and send it to Taste of the Best, 201 Humboldt Street, Rochester, New York, 14610. 6 lucky winners will be on News 8 at noon with their favorite, soon-to-be famous pasta entrees using Knorr products. Winners also receive gift baskets of best foods and Knorr products. So, don't let this much fun pasta you by.
Different days, different deals. At McDonald's, on Sundays, our delicious cheeseburgers are 39 cents each. While on Wednesdays, you'll find our classic hamburgers for 29 cents each. Now, for those of you who've got to see it to believe it, Sundays are 39-cent cheeseburger days. Wednesdays are 29-cent hamburger days. 2 different days, 2 different incredible deals. Right now, for a limited time, only at McDonald's. Did somebody say McDonald's?
It's the year's largest indoor RV show and sale, January 22nd through the 31st at the Mall at Grease Ridge Center, sponsored by the Rochester RV Dealer Network. See over 100 of the best RVs in one indoor location, from tent campers to Class A's, special manufacturers' incentives, and low bank financing. Sponsored by Ballantyne, Bethany, Family RV, Finger Lakes RV, and Four Seasons. Buy from the Rochester RV Dealer Network for the best in sales, service, and savings. January 22nd through the 31st at the Mall at Grease Ridge Center.
February, the coldest, bleakest month of the year, but not on CBS. We've got red-hot comedies, specials, and movies all month long. The 41st Annual Grammy Awards, all the excitement of Miss USA, an original Hallmark Hall of Fame presentation, the miniseries event Too Rich, The Secret Life of Doris Duke, and Shania Twain in her first network special ever. February is red hot. Wow! On CBS.
You're watching WROC News 8. 8 on your side.
Well, it looks like another cold night.
It'll be a dry night, though, with a lot of clouds around. And some cold wind chills, especially down in the valleys where winds will be gusty. Tonight, 25 for the low, winds out of the southwest 10 to 15, keeping the wind chills anywhere from 0 to 15 above.
All right, you put those candy bars outside. They're delicious when they're frozen. Thanks very much. What would you grab if you had 3 minutes of free shopping at the grocery store?
I don't know. It depends on who's with me. A 16-year-old got to find out for herself today. Letitia Stevenson of Lancaster, South Carolina, came to the closest guessing number of items in a grocery contest. And since she won, she was able to pick out more than $1,400 worth of free groceries. She had kind of a time limit there going.
Sounds like she'll have a heck of a Super Bowl party this weekend, depending upon what she chose.
3 minutes of free shopping. Can you imagine that?
That'd be a nice deal.
Yeah, I like that.
Candy bars. Okay, that's it for News 8 at 6. Thanks for making us part of your day, and we'll see you again tonight at 11.
Tonight, important information for anyone who spends hours in front of the computer. If you suffer from headaches and eye strain, there's some relief that could be in sight.
We'll have the details on that, all the day's news, weather, and sports, of course. News 8 tonight at 11. Till then, have yourselves a good night.
Good evening.
Good night.
When you see news happen, call us at 224-8880 or from your cell phone, dial *888 free anytime, courtesy of Cellular One.